We've all been there, right? You're in a server room. You need to get a perfect 4K signal to a screen that's, I don't know, 200 feet away.
Oh, absolutely.
And you just know a standard HDMI cable is going to die halfway there, and running fiber, well, that's the whole budget right there.
That is the classic integrator's dilemma. It's always high bandwidth versus long distance.
Yeah.
And you usually have to pick one.
But today we're looking at a piece of kit that says you don't have to choose. We're going to unpack the Kramer VM-4DKT.
Okay.
Now, on paper, it's a 1.4 HDMI extender distributor, but the how is what's really interesting. It uses something called DGKat 2.0.
Right, which is Kramer's own technology for sending signals over twisted pair cables. The mission is pretty simple, really. Take one source and, splash it across 4 remote screens using cable that's actually easy to pull.
And when you look at the back of the unit, it's obvious. You've got your one HDMI input, but the outputs are all RJ45 jacks.
Standard networking connectors.
Exactly. So it's converting that really heavy HDMI data stream into something that can travel over that kind of cable.
And the range is pretty significant. We're talking up to 60 meters. So what, about 200 feet?
At full 4K.
At full 4K resolution.
But okay, hold on. I was digging into the documentation and I saw a footnote that made me pause. That 60-meter spec, it has a pretty big asterisk next to it.
Ah, you caught that. Yes. To get that full 60 meters, you have to use Kramer's own shielded UniCat cables.
Right.
And if you're in a building where fire codes demand you use planarated cables, the distance drops a lot.
It drops down to 40 meters, right, which is about 130 feet. So you're losing 70 feet of range just to meet fire code. I mean, that's a potential project killer if you're not paying attention.
It is a huge drop, and it's a great reminder that the actual copper infrastructure you're using matters just as much as the box itself.
So you can't just grab any old spool of Cat 6.
No, you can't. Not if you want that guaranteed performance.
Speaking of performance, let's talk about the signal. Because when I hear long distance and compression in the same sentence, my mind immediately goes to latency. Is there a lag?
That's the fear, isn't it? But Kramer is claiming it's visually lossless with near zero latency. They're using a very low-level compression.
Just enough to get it down the wire.
Exactly. It's specifically designed to avoid that lip sync drift in a video or the lag that would drive a gamer crazy.
And it maintains the chroma sampling at 4.4.4.
Which is just non-negotiable for computer content.
Yeah, because if you drop down to 4.2.0, sure, a movie might look okay, but an Excel spreadsheet just turns into a blurry mess.
Precisely. You need 4.4.4 to keep the edges of text and graphics perfectly crisp. Plus, it supports HDR10 and HDCP 2.3, so you're not fighting those awful handshake issues.
Yeah, where the screen just goes black.
Yep. The bane of every integrator's existence.
Beyond the video quality, though, it's usually the little integrator-focused features that really save the day. I noticed this has a local HDMI loop output.
Oh, that's vital. Absolutely vital for troubleshooting. It lets you plug a monitor in right there at the rack to confirm your source is even working.
Before you start blaming the cables in the ceiling.
Right. Or you can use it to daisy chain to another unit if you need more than 4 screens.
It also has some pretty flexible ED-DID management, which I know saves a ton of headaches.
It does. It lets you lock the ED-IDs so you can basically tell the source, hey, I am a 4K screen, so you better send me a 4K signal, no matter what's happening at the other end.
And that stops all that flickering when the system gets confused.
It does.
Okay. But the other big win for me is the power. It uses PowerC, power over cabling.
I love this feature. The main transmitter sends power right down the line to the little receivers.
Which means I don't have to crawl behind a display that's mounted on a wall trying to find an outlet for another power brick.
It simplifies the install so much. And the main unit itself is a half 19-inch 1U size.
So you can fit 2 of them side by side in a single rack space.
Yeah, it's efficient, it's fan ventilated, and it's built to just run 24/7.
So really, the VM-4DKT is basically the backbone for those setups you see in a sports bar or a big conference center with video synchronized everywhere. It's pushing 4K HDR over copper without that latency penalty.
It really just makes the physical distance between the server room and the screen almost irrelevant, as long as you watch your cable specs, of course.
So here's a thought to leave you with. We spent a lot of time talking about the cable types, UniCat versus plenum. But with these compression algorithms getting so good, they're visually lossless with almost no latency. Are we getting to a point where the physical limits of the copper wire matter less than the quality of the math itself?
That's a fascinating thought. I mean, it's a real shift, isn't it? We're moving from a world that's defined by the physics of the wire to one that's defined by the intelligence of the algorithm, I think. Yeah, I think we're already there.
Something to mull over. Thanks for listening to this deep dive. We'll catch you on the next one.